Hello everyone, welcome back. If you are a quantity surveyor, civil engineer, or contractor, you have probably experienced the frustration of calculating formwork quantities for your project. Its time consuming process often takes more than a week, especially in high rise constructions. In this video, I am here to share a method born from my own experiences. I'll show you how to calculate shuttering quantities in just a matter of minutes, all by using factors. The remarkable part is that you will arrive at the same quantities as you would with the traditional time consuming calculations, with a variation of plus minus 5%. So let's get started and make your job easier.
Alright, here you can see a blank BOQ for a project. Let's consider consultant has given us the quantity for various structural items. We are going to create another Excel sheet to calculate the formwork quantity using these quantities. Now I have made a small addition. In the blank BOQ, I have included an extra column for the conversion factor. There is also a column for the quantity in square feet. This helps us change the provided BOQ quantity from cubic feet to square feet by multiplying the factor with the BOQ quantity. At this stage, when I insert a factor into the designated column and perform a multiplication with the BOQ quantity, we will obtain the formwork quantity in square feet. Next, I will illustrate how you can figure out these factors for the various structural members of the building. I have put together a presentation to show you how to figure out the factors for different structural members of the building. First, let me tell you what are the structural members of the building we are talking about. These are columns, beams, slabs, and retaining walls. Now, if you want to calculate the factors for columns, you simply take one column from the drawings of the project and calculate the quantity in CFT for this column. In this case, I have a column with a size 24 inch by 24 inch of a height 11 feet. By multiplying them, we will have 44 cubic feet. Now for formwork quantity, multiply one column with four sides of 2 feet each and a height of 11 feet. And by doing that, we will get 88 SFT. Now compare both values and divide the value of SFT with CFT, and with this we will get how much formwork in SFT will be used in 1 CFT of concrete. For this column we have a factor of 2 SFT, which means in 1 CFT of concrete consumption of columns, the formwork will be used as 2 SFT. Now if there is a column with a different size, let's say 27 inch by 27 inch, you will calculate it the same way as we did in the previous column. So here we will get a factor of 1.77 square feet of formwork in 1 cubic feet of concrete. The same method will be applied for columns of other sizes as mentioned in our slide. But you might have noticed in the table that the factor calculated from different sizes of column is not the same. This is because the factor will always decrease if the column of the size increases. So that's why the factor is not the same for all columns. By keeping that concept in mind, you will use a factor within the range of 1.33 to 2 for all the columns in the building. Now let's consider a 100 feet long beam with a dimension of 15 inch into 21 inches. Here the beam drop is 15 inch in depth. Calculate the quantity of concrete in the same manner as you did for columns. Compare both values and you will obtain the factor of 1 cubic feet of concrete for this beam. It is 1.33 SFT in 1 cubic feet of concrete. The same method will be used for beams of other sizes. For beams, consider the range from 1.33 to 1.60 for calculating the formwork. Now in slabs, you calculate the quantity of concrete and formwork, but there are some deductions that you have to make before comparing the value of cubic feet and square feet. In this case, you have to account for lifts and stairs, which need to be subtracted from concrete quantity. Additionally, in the case of formwork, you will also deduct the columns along with the lift and stairs. After making these deductions, you can then compare the values and obtain the factor. In our case, the factor is 2 SFT for 1 cubic feet of concrete. For slab, consider a range of 1.90 to 2 for calculating the formwork. Our last structural member is the retaining wall. The calculation method remains the same. For a 100 feet long wall with a height of 11 feet and a thickness of 9 inches, you will get a factor of 2.66 square feet in 1 cubic feet of concrete. You can find the factors for the other sizes of retaining wall and you can see them in the next slides. I'll provide the link to this presentation in the description along with the format of Excel sheet in which you can add factors and it will simply give you the formwork quantity. For retaining walls, consider a range from 2 to 2.5 for calculating the formwork. Now you can see on this Excel sheet I have added the factors that we just calculated. This has provided us the quantity of formwork for all the structural members listed, except for the raft, which doesn't need much formwork. For that you can use a factor range of 0.03 to 0.04. Now let's add up all the quantities to find the total formwork.
So if you find this method as a bit time consuming and you are looking an instant way without using a BOQ quantities, stay tuned for my next video. I'll show you how to calculate the formwork quantity using the covered area. Thanks for watching.